The moment when Roger Federer surprised Eala with a $500,000 sponsorship agreement went viral. No one anticipated this. Not the Philippines, not the tennis community, not even Eala. Here's the problem, though. When you actually look at the path that brought you to this point, you see that it wasn't at all random. It was unavoidable. Because not all stories happen by chance. Some tales are the result of years of suffering, sacrifice, and quiet, unrelenting perfection. And perhaps the most remarkable is Eala's story. She was born in Quezon City, Philippines, on May 23, 2005. A city with basketball courts everywhere, heat, and loudness. Filipinos don't play tennis. It hasn't been. Traditionally, the nation has expected its young athletes to fit neatly into two worlds, basketball and boxing. Eala's greatest strength was that she didn't fit in anywhere. Eala, her father, was a businessman who had a secret love for athletics. Riza Mano Eala, her mother, was a former national swimmer who won a bronze medal at the SEA Games in 1985. This was a family steeped in athletics. However, tennis was never intended. A gift that came early, loudly, and in ways that no one could ignore. It was nearly an accident. One of the biggest corporations in the Philippines, Globe Telecom, had already taken notice of Eala by the time she was 8 years old and had brought her on as a brand ambassador. 8 years old. A child with a racket and something in her eyes that caused others to pause and stare, not a teenager or a rising star. She made a choice at the age of 13 that would change the course of her life. In order to enroll in the Rafa Nadal Academy, she packed her luggage and took a plane to Manacor, Mecca, Spain. More time would be spent there than any other student in the academy's history. 6 years. 6 years spent away from home, learning to compete day in and day out against the world's top young players without the comforts of family, friends, or familiar streets. Take a moment to consider that. A 13-year-old girl in Spain, grinding on clay courts thousands of miles away from home. Just faith and ferocity, no spotlight, no certainty. Additionally, she flourished rather than merely survived it. She won the US Open girls singles title in New York City in 2022, making history as the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam junior title on the grandest stage in junior tennis. It exploded in the Philippines. The Miami of 2025 for Eala, the opening was quiet. In the world, she was ranked 140th. She was given a seat at the table by the tournament out of kindness rather than expectation because she came on a wild card. No one anticipated that she would survive more than 1 or 2 rounds. No one. Jelena Ostapenko, a former French Open winner and a fierce Latvian fighter who had ruined careers for years, was her first opponent. Eala calmly and cleanly beat her. The Philippines wiped its eyes and blinked. The current Australian Open champion from 2025, Madison Keys, followed. Eala won in straight sets once more. The hum began to intensify. In the Philippines, social media started to take off. Journalists covering sports began to take notice. The match that stunned the tennis world, however, came next. One of the most dominant players of the contemporary age is Iga Swiatek, the number 2 seed in the world and 4-time French Open champion. The type of player that completely destroys opponents, psychologically, physically, and otherwise, in addition to simply defeating them. She was beaten by Eala. Sets that are straight. Not only did the sports world notice, but it gasped. It was the kind of outcome that upends a sports basis. A 140th ranked wild card had just defeated a major winner, a Grand Slam champion, and one of the best players in history in back-to-back games. It's difficult to defeat the world's number 2 and number 5 in the same tournament, according to Tony Nadal, the first director of the Rafa Nadal Academy and the man who guided Rafael Nadal to 14 French Open victories. She refused to back down from Swiatek. She was the first Filipino woman to defeat a major champion at an open-era tour-level tournament and the first Filipino to advance to the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. The only wildcard in tennis history to win a single WTA event and defeat 3 major champions in straight sets. You must comprehend Roger Federer's transformation since his retirement from professional tennis in 2022 in order to comprehend why he would provide Eala a $500,000 sponsorship. He is more than a legend. He is a brand builder, a wealthy businessman, and possibly the most astute athlete investor in sports history. Federer didn't beg when Nike declined to extend his contract in 2017 following 2 decades of collaboration. Instead, he walked away. He inked a $300 million, 10-year contract with Uniqlo, one of the highest-paying apparel deals ever negotiated by an athlete. Uniqlo then started looking for a footwear partner because he didn't sell shoes. He discovered On Running, a tiny Swiss firm established in Zurich by Olivier Bernard, a former Ironman triathlete, and 2 partners. Federer had been casually wearing their shoes. Myra, his wife, adored them. They were worn about Zurich by his buddies. He did more than just sign an endorsement contract in 2019. He paid $50 million to acquire a 3% share in the business. Bernard, a co-founder, described it as non-traditional athlete sponsorship. He was correct. On Running's market value increased to more than $19 billion by 2025. The value of Federer's investment alone was close to $500 million. With his Mercedes-Benz alliance, Rolex contract, Teammate sports management business, and university tuition deal, Forbes verified in 2025 that Roger Federer had formally become a billionaire, with an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion. However, this is the most important portion of the story. Federer continued to accumulate fortune. He made it his goal to find and help the next generation of tennis greats through Teammate, the organization he co-founded. He had previously assisted in the signing of promising talents Xiao Fonka, Ben Shelton, and Iga Swiatek, who were being prepared for international fame under the ON banner. Federer wasn't merely witnessing the sport fade into obscurity. He was actively involved, but no new statement was issued to publicize it. It wasn't made public at a formal event featuring a podium, executives, and suits. For such a moment, that would have been too normal. The narrative, which quickly went viral on Filipino social media, tennis forums, and sports news sites, detailed a discreet private meeting that Federer's team and Alice officials had set up in the weeks after the Miami Open. The specifics of the conversation were not immediately disclosed to the public. However, it was the number that leaked and sparked a frenzy on the internet. $500,000. A personal sponsorship pledge that is structured as a foundational investment rather than a conventional endorsement. I believe in where you are heading, not just where you are at the moment, according to this type of financial indication. According to reports, the agreement was contingent on a relationship with On Running's ecosystem, the same platform that had previously made Swiatek, Shelton, and Fonka well-known brands throughout the world. On social media, a video appeared. Eala appeared to hear news she hadn't properly prepared for at a brief, unplanned time during an occasion. She was clearly upset. She had anticipated talking about career planning when she started the chat. She took something much more important with her. The financial support of a billionaire who built his wealth by placing the right bets at the appropriate times, along with the endorsement of the greatest player in the history of the sport. The tiny, blurry clip, which was only 20 seconds long, went viral. It was viewed millions of times in a few hours. Filipino fans continued to share it into the night. European tennis communities discussed its importance. The identical question was being posed everywhere. When Roger Federer, of all people, chooses to personally invest in your career, what does that mean? She could be one of the best in the world, according to Tony Nodal. The greatest of all time was now investing $500,000 in that conviction. The comment sections were crowded. She defeated Swiatek on the court, one fan wrote. Federer is now placing a wager on her off it. To put it simply, the Philippines is shaking right now. This isn't just a story about a sponsorship contract, so let's take a step back and consider the wider picture. This is possibly the most striking example. This is a tale of what occurs when the ideal investment and the ideal individual cross paths at precisely the perfect time. Alex Aya was ranked 140th in the world when 2025 began. She has competed professionally for 5 years, earning $498.91 in career prize money. A kind person, but not quite the kind of funding that enables a young athlete to freely prepare, train, and compete internationally. Tennis prize money is misleading. From the outside, it appears gigantic. However, the math quickly becomes far less comfortable when you include coaching fees, travel expenses, equipment, physiotherapy, and lodging across 30 or 40 tournaments annually. A $500,000 sponsorship pledge, especially one supported by Roger Federer's reputation and the ongoing ecosystem, alters not only the statistics but also the story. It informs the world, the businesses, and the sport that Alex Aya won't be a story to follow in the upcoming year. Right now, she is a compelling tale to invest in. Furthermore, the timing is ideal. 4 years, Asian women's tennis has been looking for its signature player. A door was opened by Naomi Osaka. However, Osaka's path has been convoluted, intimate, and disrupted. Eala is a symbol of something distinct. An athlete from Southeast Asia trained in Europe, representing a whole country and competing at the top level without hesitation. The Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, and other countries are among her prospective markets. A viewership of hundreds of millions of people who have never really had a tennis player of their own. According to reports, Nike had already made a sizable offer. Roger Federer recognized that the rest of the world might still be catching up, and Globe Telecom has been here. In Philippine tennis, Alex Aya is not the next great thing. She is the tennis world's next big thing. She was the longest student in the Rafa Nadal Academy's history, having trained there for 6 years. Tony Nadal claimed that during that time, neither she nor her family ever voiced any complaints. It is uncommon for a teenager thousands of miles away from home to exhibit that level of consistency and quiet professionalism. It is extremely uncommon. She became the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam Junior Championship when she took home the 2022 US Open Junior title. She was the first Filipino to make it into the WTA's top 100, the first wild card to defeat 3 major champions in straight sets at a single WTA event, the first Filipino to advance to the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event, the first Filipino to win a WTA 125 title, and the first Filipino to win a match at a Grand Slam in the Open era. Each and every one of those records in 1 year. The young woman from Quezon City who chose tennis when no one in her nation expected her to, who picked Spain when staying at home would have been easier, and who persisted when results were sluggish and attention was few, are the driving forces behind all of them. All of you have so much to give, and I hope you will find your own unique ways to make a difference, because life really is much bigger than the court, Federer once remarked during a commencement speech at Dartmouth College. The words could have been written for Alex Aya, but they were intended for a graduating class. Because the court is already smaller than what Aya is constructing. A movement is being built by her. She is giving hope to a whole part of the world that has been waiting for someone like her to appear for decades. Now that the road is real, every young lady in Manila who picks up a racket does so with knowledge. It is possible to reach the summit. It was demonstrated by a Quezon City girl. And when Roger Federer, who rose from a wild card in Miami to the 40th spot in the world rankings, not only created his own legacy by winning, but by doing it elegantly and with style. Alex Aya's journey from a 13-year-old dreamer in Spain to a world-renowned athlete with Roger Federer at her side is evidence that true excellence cannot be concealed indefinitely. In 2025, the world discovered her. The world is now unable to turn away. Click subscribe immediately if this tale touched you, or if you felt even a little portion of what this journey is worth. This is the kind of story we cover every week. Genuine moments, genuine emotion, and real history being made in women's tennis. This narrative is far from ended, so you don't want to miss what happens to Alex Aya next. Turn on notifications, click the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next.